Lewis Hamilton doesn't live like a typical athlete, and that distinction becomes clear the moment you look beyond trophies and lap times. Most champions are defined by what they do on the track, but Hamilton built a life that stretches far beyond racing, beyond sport, and even beyond money.
Oh, so you just gonna switch cars? You put one car back and you just take the other one out? He really living his best life, y'all.
His lifestyle is not about flashy excess for attention. It's about control, freedom, and designing a world where he answers to no one. This is not the story of a driver who got rich and started spending. This is the story of someone who redefined what success looks like once the trophies stop being enough. Hamilton's life feels closer to that of a billionaire architecting an empire than an athlete enjoying rewards. And the reason lies in how his journey shaped his mindset long before the wealth arrived.
Lewis had taken himself to the very brink of the World Championship, and then it was all snatched away.
Imagine being in the Formula 1 car. Must be very powerful, that.
All those years ago, we were sitting in the back of a trailer in, a little Cavalier and everything. We could never have imagined being in here. For me, growing up, I'm going to prove them wrong. And this has been my dream since I was a kid. Yeah. And it started going the way I lost.
Long before private jets, penthouses, and global influence, Lewis Hamilton understood scarcity. He grew up watching his father work multiple jobs to support a dream that seemed impossible for most families.
Dad was someone that also faced adversity through his life, and he's like, I want to do everything in my power to create a better life for my kid so that they don't feel or experience the things that I've encountered through my journey. I'd spend weekends with my dad, and he had no idea what to do with me. He's like, what do I do with this kid on the weekends? And we would watch the Grand Prix, so I started watching Grand Prix from, I think, 5, fascinated with cars.
Racing was expensive, unforgiving, and dominated by people who didn't look like him. Every early win came with pressure, because failure didn't just mean losing a race. It meant risking everything his family had sacrificed. That pressure created a mentality obsessed with precision and long-term thinking. Even as a child, Hamilton learned to see opportunity where others saw limits. While many young drivers dreamed only of titles, he dreamed of independence, of never being constrained by circumstances again. When he entered Formula 1, his talent was undeniable. But what separated him was awareness. He understood that drivers are brands and brands can outlive careers. While others focused solely on contracts and championships, Hamilton paid attention to how he was perceived, how he spoke, how he dressed, and how he positioned himself culturally. This wasn't accidental, it was strategy. He knew that racing would not last forever, but identity could. That mindset is the foundation of why his lifestyle looks nothing like a standard athlete's path.
My whole life, all the struggles, questioning whether you were going to make it or not, just all those doubts, all those fears kind of flashed by me, through my eyes and came across the line. And I was like, I did it. And I want the kids out there to know that you can do it too.
As his success grew, Hamilton didn't rush into indulgence. Instead, he curated his life carefully. He chose residences, not just for luxury, but for privacy, mobility, and symbolism. Monaco placed him at the heart of motorsport wealth while shielding him from constant scrutiny. New York connected him to fashion, art, and global culture. London kept him grounded in his roots while maintaining influence. Each location served a purpose. His homes are not just properties, they are strategic bases. That's a billionaire mindset, not an athlete's impulse. The same philosophy applies to his car collection. For most athletes, cars are about speed or status. For Hamilton, they are expressions of engineering history, innovation, and personal milestones. He doesn't collect randomly. Each vehicle represents a chapter, a belief, or an admiration for craftsmanship. Some are brutally powerful, others timeless and analog. Together, they tell a story of respect for performance across eras. This is not someone trying to prove wealth. This is someone preserving legacy. Hamilton's travel habits further separate him from traditional sports stars. He moves like a global executive, not a celebrity chasing attention. Private aviation gives him control over time, one of the rarest commodities at his level. Luxury yachts and secluded resorts aren't about showing off, but about escaping noise. In those environments, he recharges, reflects, and plans. His adventures into extreme sports, whether skydiving or snowboarding, reveal another layer. They mirror racing, total focus, high risk, complete presence. These experiences are less about thrill and more about staying connected to the feeling that first drew him to competition.
And then we went to Senegal, seeing Gory Island, which was very, very heavy on the spirit and on the chest. Like it felt like a huge weight upon you as you went into this, the House of Slaves.
Fashion plays a crucial role in his identity, but not in the way people assume. Hamilton uses fashion as language. His clothing choices challenge expectations of what a racing driver should look like. This is intentional rebellion against limitation. By aligning with high-fashion brands and sitting front row at global fashion weeks, he placed himself in a different room entirely. Not the athlete's room, the tastemaker's room, the cultural influencer's room. This positioning unlocked partnerships that extend far beyond endorsements. It gave him equity, creative control, and relevance in industries most athletes never access. Business, however, is where the billionaire comparison becomes undeniable. Hamilton doesn't chase quick wins. He invests in ideas that reflect his values and long-term vision. Sustainability, plant-based innovation, technology, and media are not random interests. They are future-facing industries. He understands where the world is going and places himself ahead of that curve. These investments ensure that his income does not depend on physical performance. That's a critical psychological shift. When an athlete stops relying on their body as their primary asset, they stop thinking like athletes. By the time Hamilton reached his peak, racing income was no longer the center of his wealth. His brand, equity stakes, and long-term partnerships began generating value independent of race results. Even in seasons where performance dipped, his financial momentum didn't. That's the moment the shift happened, when success stopped being physical and started becoming structural. Yet what truly elevates Hamilton's lifestyle is restraint. Despite immense wealth, he avoids reckless displays. He rarely flaunts watches, doesn't obsess over super yachts publicly, and maintains a level of mystery. That restraint is power. It signals confidence, not insecurity. Billionaires don't need to prove they've made it. Hamilton reached that level of internal validation. He chooses when to be visible and when to disappear. In a world where attention is currency, controlling it is dominance. His philanthropy and activism are extensions of this control. Rather than detached donations, he builds platforms and systems. Education initiatives, diversity programs, and environmental causes are approached with structure and intent. He's not trying to look generous. He's trying to shift realities.
It's almost like a step backwards if you think of the steps we're taking as a sport, and the more important issues and causes that we need to be focused on.
That approach mirrors how powerful individuals think about influence. It's not about momentary impact. It's about altering trajectories. Lewis Hamilton lives like a billionaire because his life is designed, not reactive. Every move reflects foresight, discipline, and a refusal to be boxed into expectations. He didn't wait for retirement to expand his world. He built it alongside his career, brick by brick. That's why his lifestyle feels different. It's not loud, but it's vast. Not reckless, but deliberate. Not temporary, but enduring. What truly separates Hamilton from typical athletes is how he views legacy. Most sports stars think in terms of seasons and records. Hamilton thinks in decades. He understands that influence compounds when it is nurtured carefully. This is why his public image feels controlled yet authentic. He speaks when it matters, stays silent when noise dominates, and chooses moments that align with his values. That discipline is rare in sports, where constant visibility is often mistaken for relevance. Hamilton understands that scarcity creates gravity. When he appears, people listen, because he hasn't diluted his voice. At a point where comfort was guaranteed, the most dangerous choice wasn't risk, it was staying still. His move to Ferrari is a perfect example of this thinking. At a stage when many would protect comfort, he chose risk. Not because he needed more money, but because legacy demands boldness. Ferrari is more than a team. It's a symbol, a challenge, a historical weight that few drivers dare to carry late in their careers. By stepping into that environment, Hamilton signaled that his story is still evolving. Billionaires don't preserve comfort. They chase meaning. This move wasn't about extending a career. It was about redefining an ending. Control over narrative is another pillar of his lifestyle. Hamilton rarely allows others to define his motivations. When criticized, he doesn't rush to defend himself. When praised, he doesn't overindulge in validation. This emotional discipline mirrors how powerful individuals operate. They don't react impulsively. They observe, calculate, and respond only when response serves purpose. This approach protects mental energy, something Hamilton values deeply. Mental clarity fuels performance, creativity, and decision-making. Without it, wealth becomes chaos. Even his physical lifestyle reflects this awareness. His commitment to health, plant-based living, and longevity isn't a trend. It's preparation for life after racing. He treats his body as a long-term asset, not a tool to be exhausted. This thinking aligns more with CEOs and investors than athletes chasing short-term peaks. He's building capacity for decades of influence, not just a few more podiums. Hamilton's inner circle is another indicator of how he operates. He keeps it small, loyal, and aligned. Access to him is earned, not purchased. In elite circles, proximity is power. Hamilton protects that power by limiting who enters his world. This allows trust to grow and distractions to disappear. It's a strategy used by people who understand that not every opportunity is worth accepting and not every voice deserves space. There is also a quiet spiritual element to his lifestyle. Whether through meditation, nature, or solitude, Hamilton prioritizes inner balance. That balance anchors him amid pressure, fame, and expectation. Many athletes crumble once the applause fades. Hamilton has already built an internal world strong enough to sustain him without external validation. That's why retirement doesn't loom as a threat. It's simply another chapter. Financially, his wealth is structured to outlive him. Investments, equity positions, intellectual property, and ownership stakes ensure continuity. He's not relying on appearances or nostalgia. His money works independently. This is a defining trait of billionaires. Wealth becomes infrastructure, not income. It creates options, freedom, and insulation from volatility. What makes his lifestyle truly unique is that it doesn't feel rushed. There's no desperation to experience everything at once. No frantic accumulation. Hamilton moves with patience. He allows life to unfold while steering it deliberately. This calm confidence is the result of knowing that time is on his side. When you've secured your future, urgency fades. Lewis Hamilton lives like a billionaire because he designed his life with intention long before the money reached its peak. Racing gave him resources, but mindset gave him mastery. His days are not dictated by schedules imposed by others. He chooses how, when, and where he engages with the world. That autonomy is the ultimate luxury. In the end, Hamilton's lifestyle isn't about cars, homes, or private jets. Those are symbols, not substance. The real wealth lies in freedom of choice, clarity of purpose, and control over destiny. He broke barriers on the track, but his greatest achievement may be how completely he escaped the limitations placed on athletes. He didn't just win championships, he won authorship over his life. This is why Lewis Hamilton doesn't live like a typical athlete. He lives like someone who understands power, legacy, and time. Like someone who knows that success isn't measured by applause, but by how fully you own your existence. That is the difference between being rich and being truly wealthy.